Let's get it going. Oh, I forgot. I forgot overlays. That's fine.
Okay, that's all right. You get that done, and I'll start talking. That's fine. So spawning in the top left as the mighty Orange Zerg, hailing from the fantastic Hungary, king of the foreign scene currently, but that's going to be all decided in the current ISL, is the magnificent, the one and only Sziky. And coming into the bottom left-hand corner, a man who probably needs no introduction, but who will receive one anyway, because that's just respectful. We have Pusan, playing under the name of Spirit Park. And of course, this guy, an ex-Korean pro gamer, he has played in Pro League, he's played in OSL, he's played in everything that's going, and he really knows what's up. So we are going to see a spirited set of games between these guys. If Sziky can come even close to grazing the skin of this guy, then that is an achievement well won indeed, and I do very much hope he does, because I'm rooting for Sziky all the way right here.
Indeed. I'll go a little bit more into the history of Pusan for some of the people who haven't quite been following StarCraft that long. Pusan was one of the really talented Protoss players back in the 2005 era. He wasn't quite Nalra Kingdom tier of Protoss, but he was immediately under that.
Yeah.
And then went on, and then after he finished playing, he went on to the NBC game staff. Was a player coach for a while. And you know what that means? If he was NBC coach during the 2007 time period, he actually developed the Bisu build.
Yeah.
So we will see somebody execute the Bisu build better than maybe anybody else outside of Bisu.
Apart from this game, because of course he has gone for the one base play, which is pretty out there and dead against what Hacklebeast was just saying. So he goes for the one base play, throwing down the gateway, throwing down the gas nice and early as well. So this is not going to be a two-gate kind of thing. It's not all out to kill our wonderful foreigner Sziky, but this is going to be some sneaky stuff, and this is probably going to be a little bit contrary to what Sziky would be expecting, because obviously this is a 12 hatch map, so it's an economical map, so this might kind of throw him a little bit off balance, which is maybe what Pusan's going for. And Sziky is about to get the scout on right here, very sensible, getting out there with the drone nice and early as well, going for the sensible two zealots opening as well, possibly even a 3 zealot. We see him getting the first zealot pylon and then a second zealot straight on the way. He's going to be in no immediate danger, having seen an overpull from the other side of things from Sziky.
Pusan, good decision making there. Not going to be distracted by the drone. Realizes that the scout's already got off. He has plenty of time to take care of that drone later. It's not as if anything's going to be a secret at this point. Just going to immediately send the zealot out. And
he's going to be doing, yeah.
It's
going to be quite interesting, because he definitely seems to believe that he can block his ramp as safely as it is. So he's going to get his second and third zealots out. Ooh, he might lose the drone. Sziky almost losing the drone there. So he's going to get his second and third zealots out, and he's going to block the ramp with those. While one of them looks like it's taking a little bit of a roundabout route to avoid detection. Either way, it does get detected, and it's going to be running straight into those lings, and you're going to have to be forced to retreat. But a little bit of an interesting play there. I think it will definitely get taken down. If Sziky micros correctly, Pusan doing some pimp micro around, but Sziky very nicely manages to pick it off. Cheeky probe kill. One kill from Mr. Probe as it heads on home. And we're seeing a Cybernetics core already down for Pusan. No upgrades coming in there yet. And Dragoon on the way out now as well to make sure he can clear out the Overlord Scout. Staying in the middle of the map too, he's got one Zealot out there, another Zealot on the way, and a Probe as well. So that's going to make him actually fairly strong against Zyky's Lings.
Yeah, that was a good micro from both players. And I'm surprised at how aggressive Pusan's being here now with 2 Zealots. It looks like they're ready to head in. I wonder if this has anything to do with the fact that he's just playing a foreigner, and he thinks that he can overwhelm Sziky with just superior micro. That is, if there's a player that you cannot overwhelm with superior micro, it's going to be Sziky. So yeah. I think that Pusan's going to be in for a little bit of a rude awakening if he thinks he's going to win the game with 2 Zealots and a Dragoon right here.
I think he's just wanting to use that to make sure he can clear out the Overlord, and as we can see, the Zealots are now coming back. The Overlord is going to be taken down, and Sziky is going to be a little bit supply blocked here right at this stage of the game. He's going to have to pop out another Overlord or two. And Pusan going for the Corsair play, so we could well see a DT follow-up. He runs the risk of getting caught in his natural a little bit here, but Sziky might not have the link count. I think Sziky knows he doesn't. Pusan knows equally well, if not better, so just pulling back a little bit there. Sziky with a blistering 400 APM, just noticed that. He must be spamming like crazy. And Pusan and Sziky just kind of posturing about in the natural expansion, pushing one another back and just seeing if they can get an advantageous position. Sziky maybe trying to sneak past so he can get a good scout in on the main. And it would be advantageous because the first Corsair is about to come out. Is about to come at him. Ling speed kicks in. Will he be able to get up the ramp? He will get up the ramp. Pusan would not have wanted this to happen. He gets up the ramp with a good number of Lings as well. I wouldn't be too worried about the economy of the Protoss right now. Smart pull right there from Pusan, manages to preserve that first probe. But it doesn't matter. Sziky does get the full scout in, and he's going to be a little bit better informed as the first Corsair makes its way over to his base.
In what may be the best defense of Sziky Lings we have ever seen, Pusan only loses 2 probes, which is still tends to be a pretty okay pickup for Zerg in most situations, but certainly not the kind of harass that Sziky is used to. We got some Zerglings in the middle of the map trying to pick off this Zealot. It looks like they're going to be able to get it before the Zealot can retreat anywhere. Speed makes that a pretty easy pickup.
He's got a lot of Lings on the way out. I wonder if he's just making sure he can shut down any pressure coming out with those Zealots. We are not seeing a DT follow-up so far. We do have a Citadel happening and a Robo too. So I think he must have got that scout, having scouted the lair and scouted the Hydralisk down as well. But we are going straight for Hydralisk here. So Sziky just heading in for a big ground army in game 1 right now. And he's got plenty of Lings already out on the field, and he needs to make sure he preserves those. But right now, Pusan, no real ability to push out. He's going to have to wait until he's got either DTs or Zealot speed right here. And feeling very, very delayed on the expansion as well. He needs a good, he definitely needs a good plan.
Pusan lamenting the loss of his Corsair. And yeah, I'm interested to see exactly what he's going for. He's getting the Temple Archives now, but at the same time he's getting speed and has a Robo facility on the way. I have to assume that Robo facility is just in case of very fast lurkers. Just wants to be sure he has something to counteract that possibility, as he has no cannons at all.
I don't doubt that's what it's for. If we were going to be seeing a Reaver on the way, I think in this kind of build it would have happened already. He might have even gone Reaver before he went for Dragoon range and kind of coincided that for a little bit of a timing attack. But yeah, Sziky seems to have him pretty well locked down right now. I think Sziky knows pretty much as much as we do at this point. He's going to assume a DT follow-up, I think, because he's seen the Corsairs. He knows what's going on with that. We are going to have Speed Zealots coming out, and then he will definitely be clued into a DT follow-up. I think he needs to make sure he's just a little bit safer. He is getting the Hydralisk production up now. There's about to be a decent number of Speed Zealots coming at him, coupled with some DTs as well. So this can make for a little bit of a tricky defense.
Sziky, it's a funny position for Sziky, because normally you'd say, well, he's on 3 bases, got a fast Hydralisk den, and isn't trying to bust. His economy's just shot to hell. But at the same time, just look, he has very good drone saturation on his main and his third. And at the same time, Pusan has yet to take his natural. So
2 extra gateways.
So all things considered, yep, 2 extra gateways going
on. Wow, Sziky quick to notice those DTs right there as well. And the Observer, I don't know, it just seems to suggest to me a timely attack, because he just wants to make sure everything goes off without a hitch. Not throwing anything to chance, not going to chance the lurkers. Sziky needs to make sure he's smart, on point with the defense here. Going around the back with a few Lings, that's smart. He's going to be able to deny the expansion, but will he be able to hold his natural as the DTs and the Zealots are coming in right now? There are 3 Overlords right there, so he might have a decent shot at this. Pusan very sensibly diverts, and he looks like he may go on to the third instead, where we find relatively little resistance. We have 1 Sun Colony and another Sun Colony coming in as well now. It looks like Sziky's going to be able to hold against this quite decisively with a decent number of Hydralisks out now, and he's still making those Lings pay back at the base of Pusan. He might be able to take down a bit of an Artosis pylon, actually no, because there are other pylons powering out the back. But yeah, Pusan forced to retreat, so his economy looking a little bit low right now. He would have definitely wanted that next step already. Will he be able to snipe this probe off? Yes, this probe will get sniped out, so that next is getting severely delayed. We can see that as a pro gamer, this will not be a slip in economy. This will be money that he has been earmarking. Oh, managing to pick out a High Templar as it pops out as well. That's a very, very big deal. He has been earmarking that money, and GG from Pusan. And Sziky takes game 1 in an incredible feat coming from this guy. And Sziky is 1-0 up right now against Pusan.
Yeah, that definitely has to be underestimating a foreigner.
No doubt.
Just Sziky running in with 5 Lings, managing to shut down that expansion for so long, and being able to snipe off a High Templar. I feel Pusan's going to go for something a little bit safer, a little bit more Forge-y next game, just because you got to respect Sziky.
Yeah, and I think he really didn't respect Sziky halfway enough right there. He tried a kooky surprise build that seemed to have very few merits other than this element of surprise, and yeah, it didn't come off in any way, shape or form against a very, very well prepared foreigner Zerg right here. So 1-0 to sziky.
Yep. And as in the previous show match, every map will be on Fighting Spirit. So
Yep.
we're gonna see this map a lot. Both of these players have certainly seen this map a lot.
Mm. I would also like to say to everybody that who speculate maybe Pusan hasn't been playing Brood War. Pusan has been playing Brood War. He streams regularly, and he does still enjoy to play a fair amount. So that's not rust. I think that is definitely just underestimating, or maybe trying to feel out the ground. And he's going to have to be a lot more on point in this game too.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he made it to the semifinals of the tournament between all the former Brood War pros who play on Afrika.
Mm.
Where with Savior and Haya and Casey and whatnot.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's definitely in practice. It's not as if he hasn't played Brood War in months. And
yeah.
we go into game 2.
Okay, awesome. So once again, spawning in the top right-hand corner this time, we have Pusan as Spirit Park. And in the bottom right-hand corner right now, we have the orange Zerg, who is, of course, sziky, proud member of the foreign community, member of one of the greatest clans we currently have around, and possibly the only guy right now who has a chance of sticking it to Pusan, which he has certainly done in Game 1, not being caught off guard by any quirky nonsense, and just laying down the line right away. You are not going to catch me out with any rubbish like that, and Pusan is going to really have to, seriously reconsider.
I didn't know Yellow still played Brood War.
Huh. That's quite fun.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't quite catch that, Pusan asked if sziky had played Hong Jin Ho, which is Yellow. And of course sziky didn't know because the foreigners don't know any of the Korean names. Pusan actually had to ask, or had to actually say Yellow. But, yeah.
You know what I love about this? Once again, it just emphasizes that people play Brood War because it's fun. They don't just play because they're pros. They play when they're pros, and then they stop being pros, and they still play. They just play because it's fun, and I love that. And yeah, it just catches me a little bit. It makes me smile.
Honestly, being a LOL coach really can't take up that much of your time.
Like, yeah, it really can't. Just fair point. He just sits in the corner playing Brood War, just like, yeah, do whatever.
Yeah, you
Ladder.
should spam magic spells or something.
I don't even know how the hell LOL works.
Do farm.
Nor do I wish to.
I understand the very, very basics of it.
Is it harder or easier than Farmville?
Despite the amount of farming in it, it is actually a little bit difficulter than Farmville.
Okay.
Oh, then again, to be fair, I have never played Farmville either. So, I don't think I quite understand the intricacies of Farmville. There could be some really high-level cabbage farming going on in there.
You gotta watch them cabbages. They don't watch themselves.
You gotta micro the crops. You gotta get the rotation going to be able to grow in the most effective way. There's probably some real strategy. There's probably not any real strategy. No, not at all. Anyway, sziky's first slings are out. Pusan lucky enough to get the scout in the correct direction. So he's going to see the 6 lings immediately. And yes, this game...
Go run by.
Yeah, this game we will have Pusan going for a Forge FE, but he did it with only 1 cannon, and 1 cannon is rarely enough, especially when you're only going to block with 1 probe. Oh man, and sziky has 2 lings in the base. Last time sziky had lings in the base, Pusan had a bigger army to come back and really force sziky's hand, but this is where sziky thrives. 2 lings and the first zealot won't be out forever.
Yeah, this is looking really, really good for sziky. He's got those 2 lings in there. Even if they don't kill many probes, they are going to scout him like crazy. Nothing's going to catch him by surprise, at least for a little while. Playing a bit of a crack at that gas as well could be incredibly annoying for Pusan because, of course, that is way out of drilling range of his probes. So he's going to have a very hard time shutting that down. Bringing some probes off the line, 2 is not going to be enough. And he needs that gas right now. sziky knows this and is going to do all he can to deny him that resource. Meanwhile, sziky throws down a 3rd base. So he's not cheesing. He's not doing anything weird and wacky. He's going to play straight up. And that can only be respected. Meanwhile, it looks like he probably will get the assimilator. There's a few probes drilling around, hopefully. Might be able to catch one of the lings, but these sziky lings are going to probably be in there for a while.
I wonder if Pusan's a little bit flustered right now, because he waited until 500 minerals before throwing down his Cyber Core. Still,
Yeah.
only now, just starting his first Zealot. That gateway's been up for a long time. I mean, he wasn't oh, I guess he was supply blocked. He was waiting for the Nexus to come in, but...
I think the Cybercore thing is more of a timing thing, because there's no point in having the Cybercore until you've started mining gas, because otherwise the timings just don't work out. It's a useless building. He is throwing down the gas as natural, so he knows that he's going to have to get gas quite fast here, maybe slightly earlier than we usually see it. And the gas on the main base does go down, so this is a massive delay in Pusan's build, and that's what happens if you let 2 Lings into your base. They can run rings around you all day, and they're causing some major trouble for this guy. And oh, managing to catch a probe as well. So yeah, make no bones about it, sziky is not to be underestimated.
Mm-hmm. It's also worth pointing out that sziky is, while Pusan should be respecting sziky, sziky is really respecting Pusan in that when he had 2 Lings in his base, you normally see him be very aggressive and constantly snipe probes. But instead, sziky just decided to play it passively and take out the Assimilator. He really didn't want to challenge Pusan's probe micro with only 2 Lings, which was an interesting decision from him.
I think it was a good decision as well, because just look how delayed Pusan is right now. We've got the Spire like a third of the way up maybe from sziky, and meanwhile the Stargate not even started yet from Pusan, so it's definitely going to be way out the window to expect an early Overlord kill from his first Corsair. I'm very curious to see how he follows up with this.
Yeah,